Hi, I'm Dan Inosanto. This is Volume 2 on Jun Fan Gung Fu Jikendo Trapping. I hope you enjoy it. Bruce Lee organized his art into 5 ways of attack. The first way, he referred to it as SAA, Single Angulated Attack. The second way was referred to as HIA, Hand Immobilizing Attack. The third way was PIA, Progressive Indirect Attack. The fourth way was ABC, Attack by Combination. And the fifth way was ABD, Attack by Drawing. This portion of the video will be on number 2, which is HIA, Hand Immobilizing Attack, or Attack by Trapping. You know, when we first started off in the trapping, that was emphasized. Like when I started with him in 1964, I started with him right after the first International Karate Championships that Ed Parker threw, and I was a student and a black belt under Ed Parker. I was so fascinated with Bruce Lee. And at that time, he stressed a lot of hand trapping, which comes from Wing Chun. And as the years evolve, instead of coming off of a Wing Chun structure, before I used to do a Wing Chun structure and then go into a boxing structure, but as the years evolved, he took the trapping that came off of a kickboxing mode. In other words, the kickboxing mode would be like almost, I would say, savant, kind of a mixture between savant and Muay Thai and Northern Chinese systems of kicking with Western boxing. That was the mode. And the trapping came off that. It wasn't that the Wing Chun trapping was bad, like the straight blast was good, the trapping was good. It's that he knew there was a time and a place to trap. If you have room, you can do the kickboxing. When you're in tight, he felt the trapping was good, and he was very good. And he was very good at what I call first motion. One trap, one hit, he could put you away. Many times I've seen him. I think I'm safe in saying I've been knocked down by Bruce Lee more than any human being on earth. And I know that he could shell shock your body with one shot, one trap, either to the body, to the solar plexus, because he liked me. Of course, he didn't shell shock my face as much, but it was to the body. And when he hit the body, he could knock the wind off. He had that much power, and he had the short-range trapping. But that was mixed with Western boxing. In other words, he would come in, trap, go into sort of like Wing Chun hands, and then come out with Western boxing hands, or come out into a single leg tackle, or a double leg tackle, or a leg pickup, or go to the rear and dump you. What I'm going to show you is the progression I was taught in 1964 by Bruce Lee. And he taught us by reference point first in the trapping. So this is hand immobilizing. So we immobilize one of the joints. So we start from the reference point. He will trap and back fist. He'll do it again, trap and back fist. Trap and back fist. And the person that's helping him will be just catching it over here. The left side, trap and back fist, trap and back fist, trap and back fist. The next stage, because a lot of people at that time period, when you punch the low punch, they would put the block like this and trap and back fist. So the minute they block, usually the back fist would be in here. But for the training, he'll jab, you catch it, and he'll do 3 back fists in this manner. Then he's going to switch to this side here. He will low jab, trap and back fist, trap and back fist, trap and back fist. Then he's going to switch to this part. At this point, any tool can be used. He will trap and hammer fist. That's the hammer fist. It's a side hammer fist. It's still a back fist, but it's a side hammer fist. Then you train him on the left side, and you trap and hammer fist, trap and hammer fist, trap and hammer fist. Now this can be any tool, because he can trap and vertical fist. Trap and vertical fist. Trap, vertical fist, trap and vertical fist. Then going over here, he will do the same thing. Trap and vertical fist, trap and vertical fist, trap and vertical fist. In reality, I'm going to break this down. It could be any tool. He could trap and finger jab. He can trap and use the claw. See, it could be any tool. And then we want to educate it on the same, on his left side also. You trap, okay? And you can use any motion. For the sake of simplicity of the video, we'll just use the back fist. All right, now, when he traps his first barrier, some people will answer with the front hand, so you trap and back fist. Others will answer with the rear hand, so you have to trap and back fist. So if he comes over here, 1, again, 2, this is just a training method which is used. Then we'll do it on the left-hand side because it's important that we use both left and right. It's tap, trap, 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 trap. Okay, now, let's go on to this over here. The other reference point we were taught was the high reference point. This is the low reference point. This is the high reference point. We have 2 high reference points. One is the high reference point. So anytime I would touch him like this, he poks out. Okay? This is what we call pak da. See? Pak da, pak da. Then we want to educate the left side as always. The high reference point again is pak da. Okay? Pak da, pak da. Okay, going back to the right side again, slowly. At this point, sometimes when you punch, a lot of people at that time period used to do this. So that gave them an opportunity to block if they ran into some type of obstacle like that. And on this side over here, if he punch, he's going to trap. Notice I'm blocking. Okay, notice on this side over here, when you strike, okay, and he punches, for training, I'll just attach and you poks out. Okay, attach and poks out. Attach and poks out. On the left-hand side, it's the same thing. He will attach to this is the framework he's going to attach to, and attach, and back to here. Okay, these are the preliminaries in which we start with. So I'm going to start with the first basic. Okay, we're going to start from here, and when I parry here, he's going to trap and back fist. 1, 2 for the training, 3, 4, and 5. Then I'm going to pat it with my rear hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to switch to the left lead. I'm going to work the inside. He'll trap and back fist. Trap and 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then I'm going to parry on the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can do this drill strictly as a drill now. I'm going to stand square, and he'll go 1, then hold it there, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Okay, then do it on the opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, this is important. Now we're going to start the way he explained to me. Is I attach to the barrier. I'm going to do it now. I trap the first barrier. Now I'm going to proceed to the second barrier and trap it. If he puts a hand up, I'm going to strike here and come up 1, 2. Okay, one more time, very slow. Okay, I'm going to attach to this barrier. I'm going to trap the first barrier. I will trap the second barrier. His hand might come up. His hand may not. If he comes up, you strike here and trap to this barrier and then come back to the pak sao. Okay, one more time, very slowly again. This is right to right. We attach to the first barrier. Or we can, if his hand is out here like this, we can capture the barrier like that. Or we can attach to the barrier and then trap. Okay, if I trap the first barrier, the first basic that they like to teach is to grab the hand and back fist. If he puts a hand up, you strike and back fist and come out with the pak sao. Then the basic should be on the left side also, because you want to educate the muscle memory on the left side and the right side. So we attach to the barrier, we pak sao, we can bong sao slightly, lop sao, which meaning the grab. If he blocks up here, we're going to strike here, and then come up to this position, and then trap. Okay, one more time again. So we attach to the barrier, we pak, we lop, hands up here, strike, and pak lop. It can be almost any variation, but to keep it on the basic level again, we're going to trap the first barrier. He goes across the center line. You're going to bong sao, you're going to lop sao. If his hand comes up, we strike here. At that point, we'll either pull and strike or trap and strike. Again, on the left-hand side. Okay, I attach to the barrier, I pak, he comes up, we strike, pak, and lop. You just sort of feel the energy from those first 2 drills. Okay? That concludes the first part again, I'm going to repeat that again, Ken. We trap, because no one's going to put his hand out there for you like this. So you trap the first barrier, you come up again, you grab here. You might be successful here, but his hand comes up, so you strike low. At that point, see, you grab again, you back fist, and you strike. Okay, again on this side here, you attach to the first barrier, you trap, you come up. If his hand's there, strike again. Grab and back fist. Okay, now, at this point now, I just want to show you just a little bit of progression here. The other one now, I'm standing at kicking range. So I fake here and kick here, and then trap the first barrier and come back. One more time slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. One of the variations. Could be many variations, because I don't know what he's going to respond for. I might not be successful, but putting the trap here, so then I come back to this position. Then I do the same thing again. So I fake here, which we call progressive indirect attack. We fake, we kick. I trap, I grab, he blocks, trap again, come into the position. Okay, going back to the right leg very, very slowly again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next range, I fake, kick, trap, come back, and trap again. In the trapping of Bruce Lee, in the beginning, as I said before, it was mainly Wing Chun trapping. He got out of that a little bit. He used to trap, and he would straight blast. And after he would straight blast, he would go to things like overarm hook, underarm hook, body tackle, which is a form of trapping. If you control the shoulder, you control the elbow, that is a form of trapping. So what he did was mix that with the Wing Chun trapping. Probably a person who grapples will look at it and say, well, no, they might not understand the Wing Chun portion. A Wing Chun portion would probably not understand why he would go into trapping the arms, trapping the elbow, trapping the head, trapping the body, trapping the legs, okay? What he called hand immobilizing attack, HIA. Then there is FIA, foot or leg immobilizing, because you can grab, you can control the body. A good wrestler will trap the body. He is being trapped on the ground or in the standing position. You can trap and hold. So he liked to go between the Wing Chun trapping, and he would go into other areas that he had learned from wrestling that he researched, and from maybe observing Sambo. We don't know exactly, and I myself, to be really honest, I don't know how he integrated it, but I know that it wasn't the regular Wing Chun, because when I went back and studied with other Wing Chun people, and that's a great style, Wing Chun. It is a great style, but there's a time and place. Silat, I know his involvement, because he was the first one who bought me all my Silat books. We used to go to a bookstore, and he said, buy that book, that book. He had a great fascination for learning different arts. And with Silat, he felt a person in Silat was a tremendous condition. He was a well-conditioned athlete to go through their forms, what they call Kenbang or Jiros, both the fighting forms and the what we call the artistic forms. He knew that the people, and many people say that he never researched that particular art, but I say he did. How much, I don't know. But I know that he did research it. You have to remember now that you want to be able to do the trapping, both in the left lead and right lead. We're going to do it off the left lead right now, and I'll show you the progression that we use. When he punches with the front hand, you're going to do what we call loi da. That's an inside hit. That's the motion again. One more time. 1. So you tap the barrier and come back to it again. We'll do the slow motion. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, loi da. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm going to hit low, which we call ha da. Still the same basic is going to come up, because I'm going to hit strike here. I'm going to back this and come back to that. Listen again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes when you have the outside, you're going to trap and then do the same technique. Trap and then do the same technique. Trap and then do the same technique. You can, however, do it like this also. Go to the inside, maintain the trap, go to the outside, and then do the same trap. Once again, trap, trap, and then come back. And you can also do that to low lines. You come up again. When you strike to the bottom, you come up and go again, you come back again. Now all these bases can come from the kicking range. All these bases can come from the inside range. But what right now, I'm trying to show you what is happening here. So we can bridge it. There are many ways to bridge it. In other words, I can bridge it by attacking like this and doing the first trap. Or he can kick, and he can bridge for me and we'll do the trap. So there's many ways you can bridge it. But right now, I'm isolating this position here. So if I trap the first barrier like that, and if this rear barrier does not go across the center line, but stays here, then I trap the second barrier. So again, slowly, trapping the first barrier, and then trapping the second barrier on the inside. At that point, I can almost follow up with anything, from the Jik Chung Choi, to the Ping Choi, to the Jin Choi, to the Nao Choi, and any kind of Choi that you want. Okay, one more time, very, very slowly, okay? So again, if he punches, I trap the first barrier and the second barrier. Or I create the opening by going like this, 1, 2. Or he kicks from this position, and I create again the barrier, because we don't know. But for the sake of learning the technique, we're going to isolate this position. Like in anything, you can isolate, like in football, we can isolate pass defense, and we can isolate kicking defense, punt formation, and all this things of that sort. So right now we're isolating when we establish the close quarter position. That's what we call Pak, then Pak Loida. If I put it to this position here, I'll move my partner here. I want you to practice it also on the inside here again. 1, 2. Now if he goes across the center line now, see, you don't want to come out here and hit. That's another type of technique. And you're going to go into that later on. But right now, if he stays in center line, that's what you're going to do. So again, that's the first. And always practice it both right and left. Okay, again. So you trap the first barrier, you trap the second barrier. Sometimes you're about this range, so the next follow-up is the Chung Choi, and then you trap the barrier. Look at it again. Trap, hit, and strike. If it's on the left lead here, on the left lead, practicing on the left lead, trap, we're going to strike here and then trap. Again, slow motion. 1, 2, 3. Moving him back to the right side, okay? A lot of times when you're here, you can thread it straight to the throat. Look at it again in slow motion, how that's open. Because if he blocks my hand, it's going to hold this hand. So I strike with this hand and come in. Look at it again, slow motion. 1, 2, 3. On the opposite side again, I trap the first barrier, I thread, and then I come back. Again, once again, 1, I thread, the finger jab, and then I come in. All right, that is the third variation, okay? Let's look at, again, the 3 variations one more time. I trap the first barrier, I trap the second barrier. I trap the first barrier, I strike to the midsection, and I trap. Okay, again, go through the finger jab and trap. On the left-hand side, so you can take a look. 1, I trap the first barrier, I punch, I trap. Again, I trap, I punch, I trap. I trap, I finger jab, and trap. Okay, the beautiful part about the third technique, see, in order for him, he has to be able to stop the finger jab to the eye. If he stops it to finger jab, he's still going to get hit. See? If he blocks it, if he doesn't block it, he'll get hit. He blocks it, he'll get hit. Doesn't matter. It's like the position here, because he has to go for one of the hands. The rear hand barrier will either have to protect that, strike, and hit. But if he doesn't protect it, he'll go in. All right, so again, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I'm going to continue the series again on the inside series or the Loida series. Again, I want to repeat that you can attach to the barrier and trap, or you can capture the barrier and trap. Or maybe he punches, and you wait till it comes back into reference point before you trap. There's many ways you can do this. But for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to teach it so you can understand, and we'll isolate this position. So if I trap the first barrier, and he doesn't go across the center line now, I trap, make the first knife hand, second knife hand, finger jab, go to the eyes. Okay, one more time slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In 5 counts. It doesn't have to be like that, just to give you the basic idea what's going to happen. So now we're striking with the right hand, then the left hand, then the finger jab is with the right hand. So if we just take it from here, it's going to be like that. Again. Okay, now, sometimes when you come here, you're going to slap, but you're going to go with the left knife hand, then the right knife hand, and then the left finger jab. Again, that basic would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat one more time. The left hand will precede the right hand and then go into the left hand. That's the second basic. The third basic over here, what we're going to do is I'm going to trap, and sometimes you pull back, you strike this way, then the back hand with the knife hand, and then thrust. So this one now, you step forward, strike, and then come back. Okay, those are the 3 basics. Again, they should be repeated to the opposite side. So again, if I trap this first barrier, left knife hand, right knife hand, left finger jab. I'm going to over-exaggerate. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time over exaggerate. Left hand, right hand, finger jab. At this point here, I'm going to strap with my right hand, then the left hand, and then the right. Again, slow motion. 1, I come over here, left hand, left finger jab. Slowly again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are times when you go 1, you're going to strike this way, Wang Jern, and then come out with the knife hand this way, trap and finger jab. Again, slow motion. 1, 2, 3, and back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and strike with the finger jab again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then strike. Okay, we're going to go into the wedge series, and I'm going to start with the right hand so you can explain this. Now, if I trap the first barrier and he goes across the center line, you're going to see it's hard to work the inside line. So when he crosses it, we can wedge with 3 instruments. One is with the tan sao. The other wedge is with the dong sao. Other wedge is with the bio sao. Or if he wedges too far, you can thread it right to the throat immediately. So again, we're going to start with this basic. Wedge, slap and hit. Wedge, pull and hit. Wedge, slap and hit, pull and hit. Wedge, pull and hit, slap and hit. Then following the 3. Wedge, slap and hit, pull and hit, slap and hit. And wedge, pull and hit, slap and hit, pull and hit. Okay, that should be done both in the right lead and the left lead. Okay, I'm going to do it again in the left-hand side so you can see. I trap the first barrier. I wedge with 3 tools. I can wedge with the palm up. We call it tan sao. Okay? I can wedge with the palm sideways. We call this zhong sao. We can wedge with the palm down. We call this bio sao. And we also try to thread that also to slap and hit. So we have 3 components. The first component, when we wedge, we pak. Okay? Pak is to slap and hit. Pak da. Again, slow motion. The other one is when we wedge, we pull and hit. Again, wedge, pull and hit. And wedge, slap and hit, and then pull and hit. Again, wedge, slap and hit, pull and hit. However, when you wedge, you feel right, pull and hit, then slap and hit. Then you wedge, pak, lop, pak, which means to slap and hit, to pull and hit, to slap and hit. And it can be any tool. And again, you wedge, you pull and hit, slap and hit, pull and hit. Wing Chun, as I told you before, it's a great system. And Bruce Lee, really, many people don't know this, and many people do, he didn't really complete the Wing Chun. Like the dummy, he was only up to section number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's why when I learned it, I only learned it up to section 7. So he created his own move. He freelanced on the dummy. It's not completed. But as a great fighter, he was a great fighter. And he used elements of the Wing Chun. I have an instructor named Sifu Hawkins Chung, who's my Wing Chun instructor, and he said something to me that I thought was very interesting. He said the first generation of people of Yip Man were fighters. The second generation were technician. And the third generation, he felt they lived off the reputation of the first generation and the second generation. He told me that Bruce Lee's second and third and fourth hand, he could never tell if it was efficient enough. He says, but he knew Bruce Lee's first hand and first motion would blow people away. Therefore, no one knew what his level was in the second and third hand or the exchange. And I think that's a good thing because, as I remember, Bruce Lee would blow away people on the first strike and on the first hit, which made a difference. I'm sure you can find a lot of great Wing Chun people out there, and as far as knowing the system of Wing Chun, they probably excel over Bruce Lee, you know. But what he did was take the essence of Wing Chun and make it work for you. That's what he says, take the essence. Because some people, let's use it this way so you can understand it, okay? Some people do not have a BA degree. They do not have a BS degree. They do not have a master's degree, MA, MS. They don't have a doctor's degree. But even though they don't have the title sometimes of an educated man, they are highly educated. People say, well, he only has a master's, he only has a bachelor's. But because if he studied, his so much studying, they have the same caliber of a guy that has a PhD. They just didn't have the time to have a university or a college recognize the level he was at. Bruce Lee was that type of a martial artist. He's at what I call a PhD level in understanding it. But maybe sometimes, in other words, for me, sometimes you don't have to be a 10th and a 9th or an 8th or a 7th degree in a particular style of system. You know, maybe you're just a first, but you haven't been recognized, or you didn't go through the system to attain that recognition. And Bruce Lee, because he was evolving, constantly evolving, many people from many different systems, black belt and other systems, studied with him or wanted to study with him. Some didn't want to study with him because, you know, it might jeopardize their reputation. They didn't want people to know. Others didn't want to do it because they wanted to, but they were embarrassed to train under a person that possibly does not hold rank in any system. Yet you find all these people with ranking following this man, 5th, 6th degree, who befriended him because they knew he had the talent. They knew that he had the knowledge. Okay, what we're going to do right now is south and then swing hand. We're trying to hit the face. Or it can be from the low da, back to jiao sao, or it could be punches here, low and jiao. That's one variation. And the other one is split, what we call loi da, and slap and hit. Okay, I'm going to repeat those same component parts. Okay, so the hand here, we can strike here, and the object is to slap the ear here. Or we can hit inside, jiao sao. Or we can hit low and jiao sao to that position. And also we can hit inside, and the object is to slap the face here. Okay, moving on. Okay, now the jiao sao can be two variations. Once he comes up, I can block like this, or not block, but really go into the structure, swing the hand here, swing it down to the groin, swing it back out. You'll notice closely when I swing up here how he'll defend with his rear hand. That's beautiful because now it opens up the line on the outside. So in slow motion, this goes 1, 2, 3, 4. This hand has to keep up, and this hand is going to be striking. If I move it over here to the side over here, okay, anytime I strike here, see, it's going to be here, it's going to open that line here. If I strike here and I come down, I hit the groin, come up, hit, and go back and forth, because this hand has to keep up. This hand can either thread the inside or outside and come in. So you have the option always playing with the three hands. Okay, I'll move it back to this position. Okay, so the jiao sao again can come from the inside line up here. Jiao sao is running hand. It can come from the low line, and you can run the hand up. It can come from the outside line and run up. Okay, so it can come, or you can come by just going into the structure and slapping high and then slapping low, then coming up. And usually when you come low, it opens up the eyes at that particular time. Okay, in slow motion again. So when you strike, that's the jiao sao. When you strike low, that's the jiao sao. Again, you can strike on the outside. You come in here, come here. You can, jiao sao is a running hand. You can go up and down. The object is when you come low, that opens up the line here. Okay, when we're in this position here, sometimes when the person strikes, we're going to go inside or we're going to go low. When we jiao sao, we're going to swing. Depending on the position, we're going to go back to that position again. So this is 1, 2, watch how I'm swinging to the inside. Again, slow motion. 1, I swing the hand. So I swing the jet sao this way. I strike 1, I strike 2 or 3, doesn't matter. Okay, slow motion again. 1, I swing the hand, swing it out. Here, 1, 2, 3, swing it out. Okay, I'm going to move you to this position over here, do the same thing so you can just see it on the left lead. This is 1. So I'm swinging the hand here, and as I do so and I swing the hand here, I'm going to hit and hit. All these can be countered, we know that. But right now for the basics, for the beginner, this is what we like to teach. So we strike here like I'm hitting here, jiao sao, swinging here, and come out. Let me go through some of the drills that I learned from Sifu Bruce, and I think they're really good because some people have a background in trapping and others do not. Like Wing Chun people have an excellent trapping background. But a lot of mainstream systems don't have the trapping. So I'm going to break this down so that you can see this, how it works. Okay, so a very simple trap is if he hits low and he traps. That's a simple trap. But if he traps again, That's another trap. We call it compound trapping. So the first basic, before we go into trapping, let's take some basics. So this one, after you throw the low jab, which we call ping choi, this is the gua choi. I'm going to move out the kicking range, and he's going to now tech. That's the first drill. Okay, so ping choi, gua choi, now tech. One more time. Ping choi, gua choi, now tech. Now he's going to move over to the left side very, very slowly. He's going to ping choi, gua choi, now tech. Going back again, ping choi, gua choi, now tech. Ping choi, gua choi, now tech. Okay, moving back over here again. Now, a lot of times, he will defend with his front hand and then defend with his rear hand. So he's going to lopsa gua choi. Look at it again. He's going to defend with front and back. So this is what you're going to do. Okay, low jab, trap, back fist. Do it slower. 1, 2, and then 3. Now sometimes, so you'll notice closely, this is the right hand defending with the left hand. As this one now is the right hand defending with the right hand and then defending the left hand. A little bit slower. Right hand defending with the right hand, and now the left hand. Again, defending the right hand, and left hand. Now if you look closely on this side over here, okay, I'm going to defend with my left hand and then my right hand. Defending with my left hand and right hand. Now I'm going to defend with my left hand, again, and the right hand. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Moving back to this position again. A lot of times, some people will defend like this. But some people, when you hit, they'll defend like this. So you're going to do the same thing because he's defending 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, doing it on the left-hand side. Say I'm defending very, very slowly. This is 1, 2, and 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Going back to this side over here. Okay? Again, very, very slowly. Now, I will defend with the simultaneous hit and event, but I'll put my hand here. So now he's going to come to this position again. So he hits low, come up. But he hits low, come up with this hand. So he has to find out which hand I'm going to come up with. So you can, again, slowly, so you can see it. 1, I'm defending with my rear hand. As this one, opposed here, I'm going to defend with the rear hand, see? Again, over here, I'm defending with my rear hand. Over here, I'm defending with my right hand. So we try the same basic over here on the left hand lead. It's important in the Junfan Gung Fu that we train both the left lead and the right lead. Okay, I'm going to keep on saying that throughout the video because it's very, very important. There are many people who believe that you should only do it in the right lead, but you remember there's a lot of people who do not find off our right lead. So you have to depend on people, on the structure that they're fighting in, either the left lead or right lead. So again, when you strike here, if he's a stand-up fighter, see, that's my rear hand. He's a stand-up fighter, front hand, okay? Okay, going back to here. Now, this makes it possible, so if you are in a position now, if he makes the low jab and back fist, if he crunches like that, there's no hand to trap, so you're going to knee. That's one possibility. The other possibility, he's going to kick if he moves back a little bit longer. And the other possibility, if he moves back, he's going to kick the groin with his lead leg. Okay, one more time, very, very slowly. Okay, so at this point here, see, I don't give him a structure where he can trap, so he has to use a knee. Over here, I go back a little bit farther, he uses the rear leg. Go back a little bit farther, he uses the front leg to the groin. Okay, now we're going to do it on this side over here. These are very important drills. They were taught to me, and I think they make a lot of sense to me. Okay, so you go down, 1, I crunch, he knees. We go back to here, go back, and kick. The next one, as I move back to here, hit the groin. That could be a straight kick or the round kick. Now we're going to move out here. We're going to move a little bit out of camera range here a little bit. But a lot of times, we'll start from over here, that when he's coming to this position, I move completely out. So he now has to bridge the gap into that technique. Look at it again, slow motion. So you notice here, I come out. He's out of our range now, so you have to bridge the gap. Okay? Now he moves to this position over here. Same thing. I go 1, 2, but I'm out of range. So he kicks. And for the training, you put the structure up there so he can trap. Again, slowly. 1, he backs off. You notice that with the primary attack we're using right now, it could be any attack, but right now, for the purpose of the video and for the purpose of understanding the principles and the concepts of this, he's doing a low jab, trap, and back fist. And we studied the structure before on people who use the structure with the hand structure. Then we studied about people who don't use a structure like that. So you have to knee, you have to kick. Okay, now we run into another structure. You go down like this, and the people will start to tackle. Notice the Jit Sao. That's the knee or the kick. Doesn't matter. Okay, slow motion again. So I'm going here and I'm going to tackle him. See the Jit sound? Okay, and the GQ, which is, one is, Jit is to stop or intercept with the hand or with the forearm, which we call the bridge. Okay, so when he comes low, 1, 2, I'm going to come in. He's going to knee or kick. Doesn't matter. Okay, and he's going to either use the forearm or right. You can use either right hand or left hand. Doesn't matter. So anytime I try to come back and I tackle, see, that's the stop right here. So I can't progress any farther for the tackle. One more time again. Back, come in, holds a hand, knee, or kick. Doesn't matter. Now, if I get in closer, he's going to turn my body and go into the arm bar. So he goes 1, and I go to tackle. Notice he turns around, and I am now arm barring my right side. Okay? Now, look at it again closely. He'll do the same technique, but he'll arm bar my left arm now. So he ping choi gua chois, I go to tackle, and it's going to turn. Now it is the left arm that will arm bar. Okay, one more time, very, very slowly again. Okay, first one, when I come in, he's going to arm bar my right hand. Okay, 1, I go to tackle. Turns the body, comes down, and arm bars it. Okay, now he's going to arm bar the left arm. Comes in, I go to tackle, I turn, and now he arm bars the left side. When you make any kind of a motion toward anyone, every system, every style, or every individual has a response, and it's going to be different. So anytime you learn like a technique like ping choi, to gua choi, you have to be ready for the response, because every system will have a different response. There are systems, if you throw the low jab, they'll block it, and then you throw the high back foot, they'll block it, and then they will punch low. So you have to be ready for that type of individual. Then there are systems when you go low, you go high, and they will punch high. Okay, that's one response. Others, when you go low, freeze. Now he's going to come high now, you're going to come to that. Okay? And others, when you jump low, you come high, they'll swing the hand out here and try to slap, so you have to now come to that. Okay, I'm going to repeat that again. And everything we learn, you should practice both on the right lead and the left lead. Right now I'm going to keep it on the right side for simplicity. Okay? Again, if he goes low and he goes high, there are some people that will hit low. Okay? That was the natural response. Others, when you go down and you can't trap that hand because the hand raises, he's going to punch high. Okay. There are other people, when you hit low and he'll punch immediately, you're going to have to go to this. Then there's people that come 1, 2, and then he'll swing trying to hit high. You counter. There are people, then you come low, you come high, they might even come down here. So you come back to that position. These are the common responses you would find in many different systems. These drills are sensitivity drills, and this is what we call wedge and pak sao drill. Okay, so the first one, he'll put his hand like this, and you're going to stand square. You don't fight like this, but this is just something to enhance the muscle memory. So he'll wedge and pak sao. He'll wedge and pak sao. Wedge and pak sao. So we'll do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next drill is very similar. You're going to lop, and then you're going to pak. So what you're going to be doing is this. See, when I go across here, you'll wedge, you'll pull and hit, and slap and hit. Pull and hit, slap and hit. Pull and hit, slap and hit. Pull and hit, slap and hit. Okay. Now we'll do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now we're going to do the next one. So you're going to slap and hit, pull and hit, slap and hit. Okay. So I wedge, he'll slap and hit, pull and hit, slap and hit. Slap and hit, pull and hit, slap and hit. He'll do 6. Two more. 2 more. Okay, now why this drill? Because sometimes when you trap, and he does the first trap, he'll do the wedge principle. That's with 1 hit. He'll do the wedge principle with 2 hits. He'll do the wedge principle with 3 hits. This will include the trapping, this section here, with the focus gloves. And a lot of people don't want to practice this in the Unfan Jeet Kune Do family because it requires, you have to have a good holder, and you have to know, the holder has to be able to set up the targets. And I can remember from my standpoint, I could never get the focus glove up in time when I trained with Sifu Bruce. But if you take this progression, we'll go slow. I'll give you the same progression that I was taught by him. And we'll take it really slow. And then you won't have any problem with this. Okay, so the first one, this is called the Lloyd-Daw series because he's going to punch here. And I want you to do is parry and hit the focus left. So that's the first one, 1. His hand retracts. You throw 3 punches that he signals. And then you kick. It could be any kick, but right now I'm using the lead now attack. In slow motion again, that's 1. Follow with 3 punches of your choice, and then kick. The next one, again, 1, 2, 3, and kick. That's the first one we learned. There's only 1 trap required there. The second one, we do the same thing, but his hand doesn't retract, so we jutsu, we jerk the hand down. We follow with 3 punches that he signals, and then we come back to line. Okay? Second rep, we jut it down. We throw 3 punches of our choice, okay, or what he signals us. We come back to that position. Third time, we jut it down. We throw 3 punches, and then we retract. The next one will require you to come in with the back fist or the hammer fist. So once this, you have to trap the arm and back fist or hammer fist, and throw the 3 punches of your choice, and then come in. Again, slowly. 1, trap it, back fist it, or hammer fist. 1, 2, 3, and return. Again, trap it and hammer fist it. 1, 2, 3, and then return. These are the first 3 that you learn before we go into the series. The next one we would like to do is, it will come off the same series, but when I come to this position, I will trap this barrier and he will parry across the center line. I'll grab it and I'll back fist. He'll put this back, and you follow with 3 punches. Now this will require you to do 2 traps. This is the first trap. This is the second trap. And then you fire what we call ABC, attack by combination. The first one is attack by drawing. It's like that. 1, he parries across, back fist. 1, 2, 3, and then back. Again, slow motion. 1, trap, and 1, 2, 3, and come back. What I'm going to show you right now is the Pak Lloyd-Daw. I'm going to maintain the trap with my right hand. I'm going to Pak sound. He's going to parry across the center line. And then he's going to back fist, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, once again. Pak Lloyd-Daw, Pak Ha-Da, Lapsa Guachoy, and 1, 2, 3, and back again. Once more. Pak Lloyd-Daw, Pak Ha-Da, Lapsa Guachoy, and 1, 2, 3, and return. Third time, okay? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and return. This next one, you're going to do the Pak Lloyd-Daw, maintain the trap, Pak. Now I'm going to trap again. He's going to parry once, twice, and 1, 2, 3, and back again. Second rep. So just going to see it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and back down again. Okay? Again, very slowly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and back again. Last time, just so you can see. 1, okay? 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and back again. I'm going to give you this view here because it will bring out something. See, when you trap, you really could hit high or you can hit low. Doesn't matter. But for the training, over here, please, you go 1, retrap. Notice that I trap here. Now, he traps once, twice, and then 1, 2, 3, back again. One more time slowly so you can see it, okay? This is 1. I trap again, and he doesn't go across the center line with the rear hand. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back 1, 2, 3, and back again. Once again, very slowly. 1, trap, second barrier, third barrier, fourth barrier. 1, 2, 3, and back again. Okay, let's go to the 7th variable. Okay, I'm going to do this slow again. It might be confusing if, like I said, if you're not used to trapping, this is confusing. And everybody will respond differently. So you can only do the trapping if they respond in this manner. So let's look at this again. Okay, he punches, I trap. I maintain the trap with my right hand. He goes across the center line. So I wedge, I pop, but he retraps again. So you go 1, 2. Notice now I'm in the left lead or the right or the southpaw stance. Okay, I'm going to do this slow again. This is 1. Okay, I retrap again. I'm going to go wedge and a pocket lop, and I'm going to get back to this stance, and then I'm going to go back. 1, 2, 3, and back again. Okay, I'm going to do it slow again, okay? This is one, the first trap. The second trap, he will go across to the line. I park and come back. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then back again, okay? Once again, very, very slowly. I trap, I re-trap and go, and I wedge. And I trap this, and I can trap it again. So it goes 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, and then back again. Okay? Third time, very slowly. Okay? This is 1. I trap again, I wedge, pock lop, watch 1, and then come back to here. 1, 2, 3, and back again. This is the 8th drill we do in the Pak Loi Da series. Pak meaning slap, and Loi Da meaning inside hit. I maintain the trap, I jowl, you swing around, hit once, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and hit. Okay, one more time slowly, okay? 1. I'm going to jowl sow. I'm going to swing the base. I'm going to hit actually 1 here, do the back fist, follow with 3 punches, and then kick. Okay, one more time. 1, jowl sow, swing it, strike, back fist, 1, 2, 3, and back to here. Okay? Third time, 1. I swing the partner here, I hit once here, back fist, I follow with 3 punches, and then kick. You know, Bruce Lee used to say, sticking to the nucleus. Know the nucleus, follow the nucleus, dissolve the nucleus. In other words, he said, know the principle, follow the principle, and dissolve the principle. This is the way he used. So a lot of times people say, well, how come the stress in Chi Zao was taken out? It wasn't that it was taken out, it's that he used it to get to a certain level. And by going to that level, but he says, that's not the whole bag of wax, so as they say, because the trapping in the Chi Zao is one level. Now, when you liberate it and you go at a distance when a guy is striking and hitting you and double leg tackling and single leg tackling you and grabbing your clothing like a kimono or a gi, it might change the structure. So you got to know how to use that structure of sensitivity and trapping. But he felt it was important to learn. Not that he didn't think it was important, Chi Zao anymore. He went through it and got that essence so that he could take it and put it in a different structure. So it's important that you can take material out and put it in another material. In other words, let me just put it this way. You know the value of a tank. It will work in certain type of terrains. It will not work in a terrain like the Amazon jungle. Take a tank, it's almost tough because there's too much vegetation. It will not work in the ocean. It will not work in mountainous region with a lot of trees, but it will work in plains where there's level field. So you got to know the value of that. So like Chi Zao, it works under a certain environment and structure, and it's a good environment and structure. A good Wing Chun man can make it work in many structures, but for Bruce Lee, he wanted to take the essence of Chi Zao and put it into his structure. The structure had to be mobile. You have to strike at different angles. You have to be ready. Because a lot of times the play is up here in the top. The minute the person sinks, like a single leg tackle, double leg tackle, sometimes now the Chi Zao doesn't have the capacity to deal with it. Now, if it's up here and it's a crowded people, right, the hand structure, then the Chi Zao movements will work. You have to know how to use it. It's just like any infantry soldier. There's a time to use the rifle. There's a time to use the handgun. There's a time to use the grenade. There's a time to call for the artillery. There's a time to call for airstrike. There's a time for everything. There's a time to fix bayonets. It's not that 100% you're always going to use your rifle. 100% you're not always going to use a grenade. 100% you're not always going to use fixed bayonets, right? So you have to know how to use it. And a lot of times you have to call for an airstrike for support. So everything has its place. It's neither better nor worse. So Chi Zao is important, I think, you know. And also just learning how to deal like a wrestler does, plumbing and moving in for the neck, arm, leg. That's important too, because that's a different type of structure. All structures would be out if, say, you were to jump in a swimming pool. The kicking is out. The sensitivity is a little bit different now. See, it's different. You see, put two people in 5 feet of water, to put people and make them fight in 6 feet of water. The structure is different. Another type of structure has to come in place. So you have to look at the environment. But I still think it's a practical form. Myself, if I was a person interested in getting better in the martial art, I would study under a good Wing Chun teacher, because I do think it's important. I would study under a wrestler, because I believe they're highly conditioned. They know how to understand sensitivity from another perspective. I would study a Filipino martial art and study things like the hubad, things of that sort, because it's only going to make you well-rounded. Okay, what we're going to do is counter the pak sao and the lap sao and the gua choi. It's a very basic technique. So there are many ways, and it will be according to the energy that your partner gives you. You notice that they're going to give the pak sao, lap sao, and then you're going to move the hand position to here. Okay, I'm going to move this person over here to this side so you can see this. Okay? So you trap the pak sao, the lap sao, your hand comes back, and you enter here. That's the first counter you're going to see, and back to here. The technique that you were countering, do the technique please. It's going to look like that. See, look at it again. That's the technique you're countering. Again. Okay, and on the left-hand side again, the technique you're countering. Okay, technique you're countering. Okay, the technique you're countering. Okay. When you're learning this, it's important, I think, that you go slow, or else this person won't feel it. So what you do, the pak sao, about this speed first, lap sao, and that's the first counter that we like to teach. This trap at that split motion. Okay, 1, 2, and bring it down. Again, 1, 2, and bring it down. First basic. The second basic, when he does the pak sao, and he does a lap sao, and he's about to come to this position, you jerk it down, and you trap it again. Okay, your muscle memory has to pick up. So again, pak sao, this is what your hand's going to be. Pak sao again, you're going to jut it down to here. Okay, the other one now is when he pak saos, and he lap saos and he gua choi, the hand comes up to here. So your hand turns. Your left hand now is monitoring his right hand and left hand. So you slap and hit, pull and hit, slap and hit. One more time slowly so you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now, the other way that you can do this, if you pak sao and you lap sao, your hand is going to come out here. This is kind of a classic, and you're going to strike in that area. Pak, lap, pak. One more time slowly, okay? You're going to come to this position. Your hand's going to strike and kick at the same time. Pak, lap, pak. One more time slowly. Okay? Back to here. Pak, lap, pak. I hope this volume 2 on Junfan, Gung Fu, Jeet Kune Do trapping will give you more insight into the art. Thank you very much. Going back to the trapping led to the grappling, and I think that's important for people to know that. You know, a lot of people said there was no grappling, and it was true, because at that time they didn't grapple and contest it. They just trapped, straight blast, took the guy down, and then that would be it. We did a lot of things in our own personal training that were not taught in the Chinatown school, and that's because he was experimenting, and that's because he was researching. He loved the research, he loved to experiment, and when he researched and experienced, he would create. And that's why I would say that the curriculum of Junfan Gung Fu, which is a set and established system, and Jeet Kune Do, which is his own personal system, was constantly evolving, because he was constantly evolving. And if you stopped, just like in any field of endeavor, there is research, there's experimentation, there's creativity, and there is an evolution that is taking place, a gradual evolution. It's so subtle sometimes you don't even realize that it's evolving. And that's what made him great. Yes.